Hello everybody. This is a lecture on bipolar junction transistors. In short, they are called BJTs. The junction transistors are the most useful semiconductor devices. They form the key elements in computers, space vehicles, satellites, etc., and used in all modern communication and power systems. It is a very useful semiconductor device. William Shockley invented the first junction transistor in the year of 1951, uh, and he showed that it is a semiconductor device that can amplify electronic signals such as radio and television signals. Eventually, it was shown that the transistor can also work as a switch, as like a diode, which is uh, generally having a switching action. We have just come across about that in our earlier videos, and the invention of transistor has led to many other semiconductor inventions, including the integrated circuits later on, which is a small device which contains thousands of such miniaturized transistors. And one important thing, the term bipolar transistor, that is bipolar junction transistor, it is each and every term, bipolar junction transistor, each and every term is having a definite meaning, and this terminology is used for to establish specific purpose. Now, what is junction transistor or by BJT, bipolar junction transistor? I will later explain you about why it is called bipolar, but initially let us start with the junction transistors. A junction transistor is a solid state device. It is a solid state version. Junction transistors are nothing but solid state version of previously used vacuum tube triode. Probably you have come across these terms, diode, triode, in your study of 10+2 level physics, and those were made up of vacuum tubes, and these devices were used in early 50s 60s, which eventually were converted to diodes and transistors when the invention of solid state physics came, which explained better the way the semiconductor operation of different devices. So the earlier times, it was being used the vacuum tube triode, and that is modified into later on, after the invent of semiconductor physics and solid state electronics. Vacuum tube triode was converted to, rather conceptualized to, junction transistor. So it is the solid state version of that. Now this junction transistor consists of a single crystal semiconductor made up of germanium and silicon, in which a p-type thin layer. So what we need first, a single crystal semiconductor or semiconductor crystal made up of germanium or silicon, in which a p-type thin layer is sandwiched between two n-type layers. So how will it look like? It will look like this. A p-type layer, this is a p-type semiconductor layer sandwiched between two n-type semiconductor layers. the resulting structure is referred to as NPN transistor. NPN transistor. It is the NPN transistor. It may also contain an N-type layer between two P-type layers, and the resulting structure is known as PNP transistor. So similarly, if an N-type layer, semiconductor layer, is sandwiched between two P-type semiconductor layers, it will become a PNP junction transistor, and it is NPN junction transistor. So in both type of transistor, the middle portion, that is NPN, whatever NPN or PNP, the middle layer is termed as base, while the two N portions are referred to as emitter and collector. So in this NPN transistor, this portion, this middle portion, this is the base. Here N portion is the base, here P portion is the base, and the other two sides, this side is called the emitter, this one is the emitter for in this case, and other side, other layer, other opposite side layer, semiconductor layer, is called the collector. So this is the collector in this case, and so therefore we have three type of layers. Now the junction between emitter and base is called emitter junction. So this junction between the two layers is called emitter junction. It is the junction between emitter and base, or in short it is called EB junction, similar to over here this junction. And the other junction, this one, it is called, the junction between the collector and base is called the collector base junction or collector junction, only collector junction, collector junction or CB junction, collector base junction. In this case, this one is the collector junction or collector base junction. Sometimes it is denoted by JEB, junction EB, emitter base, and it is denoted by JCB, junction collector base. The entire semiconductor made like this is hermetically sealed against moisture inside a metal or plastic package with metal leads coming out for external connections. So the final end product will look like the metal leads will come out like this. This is my E, means emitter, this is my B, base, and this is my C, means collector. Similarly for PNP, this is my E, means emitter, this is base B, and this is collector C. So this is the final end product. In the lab, you may come across the transistor which may look like this, something like this. This may be emitter, this may be base, and this may be collector. It will look like this. So when you will do the practicals, you will be getting familiar with the BJTs in the labs. The shape of the transistors may be different. Sometimes it may be like this, oval shape, or this square shape like this. So in junction, so what we have seen till now, this in the basic construction of or basic configuration of junction transistors. Now I will come to the point of why it is called bipolar junction transistor. In junction transistor, both majority and minority carriers, you know what is majority and minority carrier. The majority carrier means the concentration in a particular semiconductor, if it is an extrinsic semiconductor, either n type or p type, that means the concentration of the carriers which is quite higher, which is much higher than the concentration of other type of carriers. Carriers means either electrons and holes, you know. So if in a semiconductor the concentration of either electrons or holes are much higher than as compared to the other type of carriers, that means mobile charge carriers, those type of carriers which are having higher concentration are called the majority carriers, and the other types are called the minority carriers. All these things you know from your 10+2 physics level. So both majority and minority carriers are involved in the junction transistor in their operation. Therefore they are called bipolar devices or bipolar junction transistor. That means, in short, why the bipolar term is being used? It is being used because of its operation with the help of both type of charge carriers, electrons and holes. That means bipolarity mobile charge carriers, both are useful, movement of both are useful for proper operation of this device. That's why this device is called bipolar junction transistor. Let us now see the unbiased transistor. That means without the application of biasing, you know what is biasing? Biasing is the, what is biasing? Biasing is the application of external electrical energy or electrical signal provided to a particular electronic circuit or in a particular electronic device to fix its proper operating condition, which is called DC operating condition, in the absence of any external inputs, alternating input signal. So that is called biasing. That means to fix, the purpose is to fix its operating condition, DC operating condition. We need a process which is called biasing. It is nothing but the application of external electrical signal or external electrical energy. So the unbiased transistor, let us see first the unbiased BJT. BJT in unbiased form, when no external signal is being used. We have already seen that the transistor has 3 doped regions: emitter, base, collector. It is an NPN device because a P region is sandwiched between 2 N regions, or a PNP device because of an N region is sandwiched between 2 P regions. And in N-type material, the majority carriers are free electrons, and in P-type material, the majority carriers are holes. All these things you know. Now, let us draw the structure of an unbiased transistor. So this is the structure. NPN transistor is taken, collector, base, emitter, 3 types of semiconductor layers are shown. Since it is the plus signs are the minus signs are the electrons, they are the majority carriers. Here the plus signs are the holes, they are the majority carriers in the second layer, and in the third layer the minus signs are the majority carriers, they are the electrons. So first layer, second layer, third layer, and the encircled entities are the immobile ions. So based on the doping level, let us classify these 3 layers. The emitter is generally heavily doped. On the other hand, the base is lightly doped. The doping level of collector is intermediate between these two. Intermediate between emitter and base. Intermediate doping. So the collector, so this is the classification in terms of doping. Now let us have the classification in terms of the classification of different layers in terms of the area of cross section. The collector is having the largest area of cross section, base has the smallest area of cross section, and emitter is having intermediate area between the collector and base in terms of its cross section, area of cross section. Now in this figure it has two junctions, one between emitter and base and another between collector and base. You can see from here, this is collector base JCB and this is emitter base JEB. There are two junctions. Because of this, the transistor will look like here as two back-to-back diodes. That means, you know, diode is having one junction, it is having two junctions. That means it is like two connected back-to-back diodes. The lower diode is called emitter base diode, this one with junction JEB, or emitter diode alternately. So this may be called emitter diode. That means this one, and this one is called collector diode. Collector diode. So this it is something like two back-to-back diodes connected with each other. Now let us see what is happening before and after diffusion. Because why the process of diffusion? You know what the process of diffusion? It is the passage of higher concentration mobility carriers to lower concentration area, where the two areas are subdivided, are sharing a common boundary or sharing a common interface, and across that interface, across the two sides of the interface, one side is having higher concentration of mobile carriers, and at the other side the same carriers are having with lower concentration. If this happens, so if this can be maintained, then we can say that from the higher concentrations area, the mobile carriers will move to the lower concentration area till the time the concentration at either side will become equal. That means the concentration will come at equilibrium. This is called process of diffusion. So that means we need a concentration gradient across an interface to execute diffusion, the process of diffusion. So now in this figure, which shows the transistor regions before the diffusion has occurs. In this case, no diffusion has happened. Now, as you know from your previous knowledge, the free electrons in the n-type region will diffuse across the junction and recombine with the holes in the p region. It is from the class 2 level physics. So the free electrons in this area, suppose here emitter and collector area, and free electrons is of lesser amount, lesser concentration in the base area, so they will obviously having a tendency of moving from emitter and collector side towards the base side. So this will be having a natural tendency, and once it is into the base, there are a lot of holes over there, because holes are the majority carriers in the base, so they will naturally try to recombine with the holes. So if this process starts, that means electrons, majority carriers, are moving from emitter side and collector side into the base and getting recombined with the holes over there, then it will result, you know, two depletion layers because of this diffusion. So first depletion layer will be across this JEB junction, that is emitter base junction, and another depletion layer will be across the collector base junction, that is JCB junction. So this is one depletion layer and this is another depletion layer that will be formed because of this recombination. Because recombination means, you know, the individual identity of free electrons and holes will get lost, and this area will be depleted of mobile, this area across the two junctions JCB and JEB will be depleted of free mobile charge carriers, and as a result these depletion layers will be formed. This will be of the barrier potential across this depletion layer will be approximately 0.7 volt at room temperature for silicon transistor and 0.3 volt for germanium transistor at room temperature. So now we will discuss all the thing considering the silicon transistors. So this is now the idea of unbiased transistor. Now let us see what happens when we are applying biasing to the transistor. So let us start discussing about biased transistor. An unbiased transistor is like two back-to-back diodes, each diode having barrier potential, just we have seen. Now when the biasing is being applied over here, that is it is made the bias transistor. So let us first draw the diagram. So this is the diagram of a bias transistor. This is NPN transistor. So P side, this is obviously the base. Base is connected with a biasing voltage denoted by VBB, base bias. The biasing voltage is applied between the base and the emitter. So the voltage across base emitter junction is denoted by VBE, and the resistance connected at the base terminal is RB, that is called base resistance. And another voltage source that is being applied between collector and emitter denoted by VCC, along with a resistance RC, which is called collector resistance. This biasing is done between the collector and the emitter terminals. So the voltage measured between collector and emitter terminals is denoted by VCE. So this is the configuration of a bias transistor. The minus sign that is shown over here represents the free electrons in the emitter area. The heavily doped emitter will do a certain job. It will do? It will emit or inject free electrons into the base. That means, hence it is called emitter, because it will. Why the name emitter has been given? Because emitter will emit free electrons or electrons as majority carriers for a NPN BJT. They will emit or inject free electrons into the base. The lightly doped base area, base is having lightly doped, I have already told you, is having a specific purpose also. What it will do, it will pass the injected electrons from the emitter side towards the collector side. So the electrons will be emitted from here into the base, and the base will do what? It will just push those electrons into the collector side. The collector is so named, the name of the collector is given in as such because its job is to collect or gather most of the electrons from that is being pushed from the base. So that's why this name collector has been given. So in this diagram, it is a usual way of biasing a transistor. The VBB source forward biases the emitter diode, that means the diode made between base and emitter terminals. That means the base emitter junction is getting forward biased. You can see from here, because the plus side of the VBB battery is connected to the P of BJT, and inside of BJT termed as the emitter is connected to the negative terminal of the source. So VBB forward biasing the base emitter junction, and the VCC reverse biases the collector base junction. That means this plus is connected to inside, that means it is reverse biasing. It is reverse biasing the collector base junction. That means one junction, emitter base junction, is forward biased and collector base junction is reverse biased as per the given diagram. So this is the general way for normal operation of transistor. This is the general way of doing the biasing for a transistor. Although other biasing methods are possible, but primarily forward biasing the emitter base junction and reverse biasing the collector base junction produces the most useful results. So let us now see the circuit representation of a transistor. Usually the letters E, B and C are used for emitter, base and collectors respectively for a BJT. These letters are being used. So if we want to draw the circuits, so this is the circuit representation of an NPN transistor with reference polarities of voltage and current directions. You can see that this is emitter, this is collector and this is base terminal. Base is grounded. The voltage between emitter and base is denoted by VEB. Voltage between collector and base denoted by VCB, and voltage between emitter and collector denoted by VCE. Collector and emitter denoted by VC, because this side is minus, this side is plus, so that's why it is VCE. So these are the three voltages, and there are three currents also. The emitter current is denoted by IE, directed from emitter into the transistor. Base current directed from base into the transistor, that is IB. Collector current directed from collector into the transistor, denoted by IC. So there are three currents and three voltages with reference polarities are shown for an NPN transistor. Here the arrow on the emitter terminal, that is this one, the arrow on the emitter terminal represents the direction of current flow when the emitter base junction is forward biased. So I repeat, the arrow on the emitter terminal represents the direction of current flow when the emitter base junction is forward biased. Thus the current that is entering the transistor through the emitter terminal in case of PNP transistor will be, it is leaving the transistor through the emitter terminal for an NPN transistor. That means this arrow will be just the opposite for a PNP transistor, unlike an NPN transistor. In both types, the emitter, base and collector currents are denoted by IE, IB and IC, and they are taken to be positive when the currents are flowing into the transistor. That means here in this case you can see that all are directed into the transistor, and hence they are taken as positive polarities. The voltage drops from emitter to base, collector to base and collector to emitter are represented by different symbols. I have already told you, VEB, VCB and VCE. These voltages are taken to be positive when terminal accordingly is indicated by the first subscript is positive. That means with respect to the terminal indicated by the second subscript. That means if we want to write VCE, that means it will give you VC minus VE. That means VC will be at a more positive polarity than VE. Okay. If it is written as VEB, that means it is VE minus VB. That means VE will be at more positive polarity than VB. So this is the general convention of writing the voltages with its subscript between two terminals of a BJT. So this is the PNP transistor, circuit representation of PNP transistor. You can compare this with the NPN transistor. You can see all the current direction and voltage polarities are same, except the direction of the arrowhead direction in the body of the BJT is just the opposite. So for PNP the arrow will go inside the transistor, and for NPN the arrow will come out of the transistor. Now normally, so if we summarize the polarities of different voltages and currents for PNP and NPN transistor, normally as the emitter base junction is forward biased, for normal operation the emitter current, that is IE, it is negative, considering emitter base junction as forward biased. So this IE is considered as negative for an NPN transistor, and it is positive for a PNP transistor. It is positive for PNP transistor. That means this IE is positive for PNP transistor like this, but in the NPN transistor it will be just the oppositely directed, it is negative with respect to the reference. As the collector base junction is normally reverse bias, the voltage VCB means this voltage is positive for NPN transistor as shown in the previous diagram. VCB is positive for NPN transistor as shown in the previous diagram, but it is negative for PNP transistor. So here it is actually just shown the opposite in terms of the reference. So this minus will go over there and plus will come to come below this terminal. So this will be just the opposite. So VCB is negative for PNP transistor with respect to the reference. So these two are these two will be changed in terms of the reference polarities. So this is all about the polarities and the conventions for considering the base emitter junction forward bias and for collector base junction as reverse bias, the conventional polarity direction and direction of current and voltages for NPN and PNP transistors.